everyone, how are you doing today? We are out fishing, or anyway, and I've had some people ask me about the Garmin Panoptix that I have on this little boat of mine, and I personally love it. I think it's fantastic, but I'm really new to the whole fishing electronics scene, so comparing it to a lot of other things I really couldn't say, but comparing it to what I had the first couple months of fishing with just 2D and down view and side view, I feel like Panoptix is amazing. It's pretty much helped me find fish and catch fish every time I've been out with it, mostly because I'm seeing structure that I otherwise wouldn't see unless I was right on top of it already. So I'll explain more about that in a little bit, but we'll get out on the water and I'll turn it on and show you a little bit about what that's about and how it works, and hopefully helps answer some questions you might have about how it works, because I've seen videos on YouTube and really nobody really explains much on them. So we'll see what a real world viewing looks like for you. Okay, thanks. All right guys, so as you've probably seen in some other videos, this is what the Panoptix screen looks like. All right, I guess I should have shown you the transducer first, but I've got what's called the PS-21 transducer on my trolling motor, and basically wherever that arrow is pointing is where the transducer is pointing its main focus of the beam. And it is a little bit of a wider beam. It's not a super narrow beam, so sometimes you get a little bit of overlay, you know, from the direction you're aiming to what's a little bit off to the side of that. But here we are kind of near the bank, actually very near the bank. But as an example, there's a legend at the top with the distance away in feet and the distance to the bottom. The big 5.5 here at the bottom, that's from my, I believe it's a GT20 transducer that came with the Echomap 70 DV. If I unplug that, that would go away, but you'd still have the Panoptix screen itself. So what you're looking at here, straight in front of me, is this bank. You can see it's relatively flat right up until the bank, which it shows as 40-ish feet away. And as I turn the trolling motor to the side, I guess I'll try to do that all at once. You can see how it's not picking up the bank anymore. And there, as I turn it, oh, I'm missing it again, sorry. As I turn it towards the bank, you see the bank show up. That's the actual bottom. That's a live picture of sonar and what it looks like off of that transducer. All right. So that's kind of some of the basics of how it works and what it's doing, and I'll get back on this in a second and show you some of the things that have really, how I've used it to help me catch fish, I should say. All right, thanks a lot. All right guys, so we've been fishing a little bit down this bank that we started on, and I just wanted to show you a couple things. So as we've been making our way around, I've been seeing some fish on the screen, and that's one of the things that's helped me catch fish using this. Is up ahead of me out in the area, I can see these little red blobs right in front of the boat. Sorry about that, it just marked that. But if you don't see fish on this thing, you know, around you, that's one way to know, okay, you're not in an area that may be very productive. So that's one of the ways that I've been able to use it, scanning around the area I'm in as I'm fishing, and if I don't see a lot of activity, a lot of bait fish or other bigger marks on the screen, just get out of there and go find another area. Here's a perfect example of that on the screen here. You can see the fish out in front of the boat. They're pretty close to the boat right there, but it's activity nonetheless. So I know I'm in an area where there are active fish of some sort. You know, the bigger blobs like that might be bait that's right up in front of the boat, and that's fine too, because bait is a good way to get bass around. So just wanted to show you that real quick. All right everyone, so sorry about this, I should have done this to begin with, but here is the transducer that I'm using. It's a PS-21 model. This is what I'm using for the Panoptix, and you can see it's mounted onto the shaft of the trolling motor just above the actual motor. And you can adjust the angle at which you want to look down. So, you know, I'm typically fishing in 20-25 feet, I'd say at the most, or less. So I don't need it angled too far down. I've got it at a very slight angle. I think it's a 15-degree setting, but just wanted to show that to you. And we're going to make a drift here, find an area. I want to show you something else about the Panoptix. Alright, so we were driving around and meandering a little bit, and I found this rock pile. So as I turn the trolling motor here, now you can see the slope. The boat is up here, okay, on this graph, and it's shooting out this way. So that's what the screen is showing you. And as I pan the trolling motor to the left at a certain spot, you'll see how it slopes upward. So this little rock pile that I just discovered comes up to about 6 feet or so, about 30 feet away. That's what that's telling me. All right, and as I pan further to the right, you can see how it flattens out back to where it kind of was aimed, and you see how it slopes back up. All right, and that's what I've been using and catching fish with. When I've been trolling around down the bank, perhaps somewhere on a map or on a lake that I'm not familiar with without mapping, I can pan this thing out to the side as I'm making my way down the bank, and lo and behold, 50 feet out from where I am, 60, 70 even, I see this incline, or even a depression, more than the rest of the surrounding bottom. And that's telling me that there's something different there, so I'll head that way, but I never have to get on top of it. I can stay 30, 40, 50 feet away, make long casts, and cover that structure, and I've been catching fish with that. It's been great. Traditionally, you might be going down the bank and not know that there's something slightly off the bank in that spot. Maybe even if you map the lake, for example, Garmin has the quick draw, but you might make a swath down the bank using quick draw, move away 70 feet off the bank and do another pass out there, and you'll never see that one rock pile that comes up a few feet off the bottom in between where you mapped. It just maps it as if it's all the same depth off of that bank. So with this, I can scan around as I'm fishing and I see something unique, make casts to it, and catch fish off of it. It's happened multiple times. It's been fantastic. It's pretty pricey for that transducer and the other units they sell, but I love it, and that's what I wanted to show you guys. Hopefully it helps you understand a little more of how that works. Thanks for watching.